John here, guys, and today we're checking out the new Oxbot stack. This is a new stack that's released recently. We met up with Joshua at International Open last week, and I've already got the stack built up in one of these fancy Drone's OZR5 frames.
Not bad, not bad.
Got the VCI Yuki motors on here. We're gonna try this with HD0, and we're gonna fly it a few packs on the new Tattoo V6 pack. Now, I'll probably have separate videos talking about the Tattoo, but today we're gonna focus on the Oxbot stack. It has a custom flight controller that has an LED controller built in, so you can adjust the LED colors just by pushing a button.
Yeah, light it up!
On the side of the flight controller, and there's a lot of very new, unique quality of life features, like the USB-C connector being recessed, like the connector from the ESC to the flight controller on both ends being recessed so that in an impact you don't hit and mess those up, and using a thinner wire all around so that everything's going to be a little bit lighter. You're also going to have this really nice feature, this little Oxbot cap kit that will allow you to cap be flexible as you're flying around and attached directly, and makes it a little bit easier soldering up. This has your connector for HD0 or DJI built in so that it's going to be a super quick build. You just have to solder up 4 wires for Express LRS, your motors, and you're ready to roll. Some impressive features, nice set of instructions, nice packaging, little sticker pack. But let's get straight to the flight controller itself. What do you notice? A couple of things right off the bat, and that's that this thing is very small. Let's do some comparison to one of the other popular flight controllers out, the HD0 Halo. You can see that it's a bit longer, but a bit less wide. So if you look at it inside of a build right here, you can see that the flight controller is recessed, and all of the connectors are also recessed. You know, look at the flight controller harness right here that goes to the ESC. It is inside the board. Same thing with the LED strip, same thing with the HD plug, same thing with the USB-C connector right here. A lot of times these things sit closer to the edge, just like this, and in a hard enough crash you can hit this and knock off your connector. Look at the beautiful conformal coating that come on both the ESC and flight controller so that you'll be waterproof right out of the box. You won't have to do it as a separate step. Lamone will rejoice because he loves to slather on that conformal coating and make his father proud, as he usually says. Check out the LED strips. These are only 0.3 grams a piece, super light, and it comes with some double-sided tape right here that you can attach to your arms like this. You can have up to 4 of them. You can have separate pads for each of the 4 in the corners right here, or you can use the LED connector strip, which will make a super quick LED installation. Look at how thin these wires is, and look at how thin this connector is. It's going to be less weight, and it's just going to fit in there nice and neatly, just like that. And then you have these little connectors that you just plug and play, or they have solder pads so you can solder them up, whichever you prefer. It is quite nice though that this has solderless installation for up to 4 LEDs. I ended up soldering mine straight to the pads on the flight controller. Let's quickly show you guys the LED change button. You can access this without plugging into Betaflight. There is a button right here. It'll cycle through all the LED colors.
That's cool.
Like if we were still rolling at night spot, this would be so sick.
Yes.
And you can adjust the intensity with the long press.
Oh, that's very cool.
Turn it all the way up if you're in the daytime. That is pretty
Nice.
sweet.
I like that.
I ended up flipping the capacitor kit upside down so that it would fit better in my OZR frame, but that was really quick. And then there's some flex here, so it fits just really nice right here in the bottom of the frame. Most frames are gonna have the cap on top, and it just lines up the soldering for you, so it's super easy to install. Look at how clean it is with this stack right here. The ESC is slightly wide, so on a very narrow frame like this, you're gonna have some exposed ESC right here, but that's not that big of a deal. It is not nearly as wide as that super wide Foxeer ESC. One of the comparisons that people are going to make with the Halo is that the HD0 Halo has integrated Express LRS diversity receiver on there. So that means when you're building out a build and you have this flight controller, you don't need to figure out a place to mount your receiver, and you also have the benefits of not even having to solder it up. It's already done for you, so the build is slightly faster. But in terms of features, this one does have that LED feature, so it is something nice. I have talked to the team over at Oxbot, and they are considering development into having a flight controller in the future that would have integrated express LRS, so that is something that could be coming eventually. You do also get this super tiny little connector in here, and that's so that you can solder up your HD0 connector super short and have the least amount of wiring and the least amount of weight should you choose to do that. This Oxbot stack not only comes pre-conformal coated with these ultra new thin wiring harnesses that are all recessed internal to the flight controller design so that you won't knock them off, but because of that smaller connector being used, you can actually slam the distance between your ESC and your flight controller just a little bit more. In fact, it comes with a set of screws and a set of standoffs so that you can actually slam the stack on whatever frame that you're flying right now. And as we all know, the shorter that we can get that top to bottom distance, it's going to be a little bit more aerodynamic, and the less height you have on that standoff, the less likely it is to bend in a hard crash and send that camera shooting through your electronics. All of these tiny little wires, in fact, I'm keeping every little scrap of wire that they have because it's just a little bit thinner and higher quality wire that we normally get. I'm going to use this to wire up receivers on other builds too. It's just that good. And this amazing wiring harness for the LED system right there, so you can get 4 LEDs installed on any quad without any soldering. 60 amp rating, H7 processor on the flight controller, so you have quite a lot of features on there. This is one of the most unique and thought out and well designed flight controllers that I've seen in a while. Now, the receiver pads are kind of at the back, but rather than make long wires and put my receiver at the front like I normally do, I actually just mounted my receiver at the rear. Such a small distance of wire right there is going to keep the overall build light. I didn't send a ton of packs on this yet, so I can't comment on the long-term reliability, but I did send half a dozen or so, and I pushed a little bit on this track that I had been using prior to IO to prepare, and I ended up breaking one of my beautiful Yuki motors. I had a crash so hard into this tree, I'll show it on the screen, that I actually broke the brace, broke the arm, and I ended up pulling one of the winding wires loose, and it's just not fixable, at least not at my skill level. So for now, I'm going to have one of these Emacs until I can get some more of these awesome Yuki motors to complete the full look. Man, these motors were just so powerful, but yet so smooth. And I felt like they were getting slightly less hot despite the really high KV. Really like them. They're not the lightest out there, but the compromise is that you get a lot of power, a lot of smoothness, and it's felt less heat. This stack at 60 amp performed perfectly. Maybe that contributed to some of the motors being a little bit cooler. You can never tell on a new build because everything really flies great. I do love that you can change the LED color. That would be cool if you were racing with your buddies and you wanted to make sure that everybody had a unique color. So if you're like doing a little commentating on your fun fly, you want to be able to say Johnny Five's in the blue, Joe Mama's in the green, Lamone's coming up in the red. It just makes your fun flies and commenting a little bit more interesting when you can see all the different colors. We haven't done Night Spot in a while, but this kind of LED technology that allows you to have lights on your quad without adding a ton of weight, I think it's about time to start heading back to that Night Spot. Really cool to see some new stacks coming out. I really enjoyed the new ESC configurator. You just go to a web address just like the new version of Betaflight. You don't have to install anything, and then you can change whatever settings on that ESC. So far, I have not had some of the desync issues that a lot of people are having with either BLHL832 or AM32, so maybe this is kind of the secret sauce. I don't push as hard as some of the fast pilots though, but let's check out what Screecher had to say about running it.
I went to the GQ, and on my third pack, I broke 2 seconds off my tongue. Flies fantastic. No desyncs, no oscillation, nothing. Perfect.
You just built the quad today, or?
Yeah, and I finished it 2 hours ago. I had a quad that I blew up yesterday, and I put it on and got it set up. Pretty easy. I really like the ESC configurator, by the way.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Very good. And then test hovered it, and I knew it was going to be solid.
Sweet. Awesome, man. Well, good job too. Right. Okay. I know several other people at IO had it. Din was running a few packs on this as well. I believe he used his in the World Cup. So now we got another option. What else are people going to switch to? This one gives you a lot of nice features. Thanks, guys.